Hello, everyone. I've just been getting some questions about how to um, do your free subdomain for Weebly. And so I just wanted to show you real quick the fastest way, the easiest way to do that. You could do create your website and that would work just fine, or you can sort of sign up and do it that way. But probably the easiest, most direct way of doing this would be just go to pricing. And then you'll see the free or basic use right here. Just select that. And then it will prompt you to, do all the information like your name, email, password, all that stuff. But that's probably the fastest, quickest, or most direct way of doing this without having to kind of search through the subdomains as you go through Weebly. Using Weebly is not too difficult, I don't think. It's pretty intuitive. In fact, the sample I want to show you right now is from a student who last semester who didn't have any experience using Weebly at all, but I think she did a really good job. Her whole website is about creating harmony and ending sort of bigotry, racism, that sort of thing, which I think a lot of you are doing for your websites, which is a great thing to tackle. Um, so this is her website. The welcome page is quite inviting, right? It's colorful, quite vibrant. You know what this community is about, what this organization is about right away. She's got some nice quotes here from various writers. These aren't necessarily her citations from outside sources. These are just quotes from people who have spoken on harmony, on unity, on diversity. She has some pictures here of people that are supposed to be on the team, right, for the organization. Sort of, this is getting to know what this organization does, discovering what the organization's about, finding an event, celebrating, and bringing your family together for this. So that's kind of like the About Us page, right? So, or the landing page, excuse me. Here's the About Us page that she created. So, who we are, our mission, our goal, future perspectives on this issue, why it's important, right? This is where she starts including her sources. ABC News is a popular source, but this is just one of the sort of peripheral sources that she uses. One of the things I mentioned about this is to her in my sort of feedback to her was that there's no introduction and explanation after the quotes used. That's something that I would like for you to do, is introduce the quote first, like you would in a normal paper. Like this person is Keneally, so it'd be something like, in an interview that so and so Keneally did with it for ABC News, and then you kind of go into it. He says or she says, images of neo-Nazis. This whole thing starts, and then you end quote, and then explain afterwards. This highlights the fact that this is something that is needed today, something like that. Okay, so you're bookending, you're introducing, citing, and then explaining the quote. Same thing here. It's kind of just plopped in there. But that's like one of the few things that I mentioned in terms of what she could have done better on this. It's really well done. I mean, you get a lot of context here, for current day context here, in terms of what is seen as the problem. This is more, sort of her credible outside sources taken from our databases, from a Pew Research Center, for example. It's a very credible place, scholarly source there. Okay, so this is where she's highlighting the problem in the About Us page, which makes a lot of sense, right? If you want people to be a part of your organization, highlighting the problem in the About Us page makes sense, right? So then we have the newsletter. remember, the newsletter goes out to members of your organization. So she does that very well and saying, dear members of Harmonious Community, and then she talks about, why there's still the need for their organization, what they're going to be doing, upcoming events, that sort of thing. I think this could be a little bit longer in terms of what would go out to the members. I told her, well, you might want to include things like current progress, things that could be done in the future, that sort of stuff, right? How they can help for events that are going to be taking place. But by and large, I think it's still pretty well done. You'll notice the continuity of the pictures, the color scheme. Right. Here are the events that she highlights. You only have to have one event, and I think if you do too many events, it might be a bit too overwhelming. I'm just asking you to do one event. Here, I think, is the weakest part of this website. Your event page should have a clear picture as to what the event is going to be, what time and day and place it's going to take place at. But by and large, I think she does an okay job here. We're celebrating with neighbors. We're kind of getting together, sharing a meal together. Right. The idea is community and celebrating each other's diverse backgrounds. The home page is really, I think, the highlight of this. But I hope that you can kind of navigate through this, and I'm just going to create a link to this in our for our class. I'm going to create. I'm just going to put this in the announcement, same announcement I put this video in, so that everybody has it. They're ready to go to use as an example and as a template for this. With that said, I just hope that everybody's having a good class here, and I hope everybody's doing well. These are really strange times, I understand, that we're living in right now. I'm trying to be as adaptable as I can with our class because, as I said in previous places, I know that our class, we started as an online class anyway. However, I do also realize that a lot of people, have a situation where, they're sharing a computer at their house, right? They have other people who are kind of locked down in their house with them, and they all have to share the same computer. So kind of just going forward as we were doing doesn't really make a whole lot of sense, right? Because I understand that situations have drastically changed, even if we're already online. So I hope that you're finding the adaptations helpful, useful, appropriate. Hopefully the website paper isn't too unwieldy, too overwhelming for you. If you're having trouble using Weebly, if you're having trouble sort of finding out how to do the things that you want to do, a lot of times you can find the answers if you just do a quick Google search of your problem. Weebly does do a good job of responding with questions that you have too. There's a frequently asked questions page for that. Please ask each other as well. Use the Q&A forum for this assignment. It really does help. And of course, you can reach out to me. Please, send an email to me. But I would ask that you also ask the same question in the Q&A forum, because I think that is really helpful to know that there are other people struggling with the same kinds of things, right? So that we can build that community there, to ask questions there, so that we can sort of answer each other's questions in that forum. We're all kind of doing the same project together, and so I feel like, sort of sharing our own frustrations or our own worries or concerns with the paper not only it just helps, right, to help each other out and to see that we're all kind of in the same boat. So with that, I hope everybody has had a good semester so far, and I hope that you are all well. I will see you later online. Okay? I hope this was helpful. Bye.